CATs, fasting, cheat days, training strategies. We're talking about all that today because today I'm getting the flip script on me and I'm being interviewed by my buddy Pete Tainsley from PeteTainsleyFitness.com, and he's going to grill me to reveal all my transformation secrets behind some of my clients' most successful transformations. So stay tuned today for today's episode of Reengineer You. Alright guys, before we get into today's episode of Reengineer You, I just want to give you a quick little glimpse into this program I've been working on that I'm releasing in the last couple weeks here, the Extreme Fat Loss Blueprint. So you guys should really check it out. It's a program that I'm really proud of, and it's essentially everything that I do with my clients at my private studio, all rolled up into a nice little ball and put into this website for you guys that you can watch in video format with downloadable nutrition manuals, downloadable workout sheets and everything. So I just want to give you a little glimpse in here. This is the Extreme Fat Loss Blueprint, which you can find at extremefatlossblueprint.com. And just really quick, I just want to give you a brief little glimpse into this site here and what you're going to get with this program. So basically, the first little bit of it, Transformation Academy, I mean, you're going to get everything that I talk about with my clients in video coaching modules. You can stream it right from your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, anything. The videos work on all platforms, so you can watch the videos there. They're about between 20 minutes and half an hour each, and it's basically everything that I talk about with my clients throughout their membership or their time with me. Then, I mean, you get into the training program. So if we go back to the dashboard, we can get into the training program. And so you're going to have workout videos here, your workout sheets, you're going to have exercise demonstrations and everything for every exercise that you need. So basically you have an entire training program right at your fingertips here that takes you from step one of maybe beginner, maybe haven't done a lot in the past, maybe you've struggled with your weight for quite a while, all the way through till the end of your transformation. So something super cool, extremefatlossblueprint.com, check it out, and that's it. So let's get into today's episode of Reengineer You. I'm being grilled with my buddy Pete Tainsley today, and we're talking about a lot of different stuff, so enjoy. Hello everyone, and welcome to Reengineer You, the show where we help you live a better life, eat better, and train better. And I'm your host, Cameron Makarchuk, Master Transformation Coach, and today I'm here with a good friend of mine, Pete Tainsley, and he's actually going to be flipping the whole show around on me here today and interviewing me, actually. So we've been interviewing a lot of great people, and we had a lot of great interviews and people on, Sean Hadsel, Mike Whitfield, Shauna Kaminsky, all those types of people on talking about all these great fitness concepts, and now today, I get the camera flipped around on me, and so hopefully I can hold up to what Pete's going to ask me here and keep the fire going with all the great interviews we've had with people over the last few weeks. So, Pete, how's it going?
Very, very well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome, man. All right, well, let's. I'm going to turn it over to you then, and let's just jump right into it, and you can grill me with whatever you want.
All right, bring it on. Well, obviously, normally I'll start by saying that the shoe is on the other foot. I mean, you doing the interrogation and the other person being the interrogatee, but we're gonna switch that around today and reverse it, which should be a bit of fun for you and your followers on here. So it's safe to say that some of the viewers might not know you that well. I mean, you're normally doing the asking and asking your friends about the program. So let's bring them up to speed. I mean, can you give us a brief introduction to who you are? I mean, not your star sign and your relationship status, which you're more than happy to discuss, but what you do, what you've written, who you help, and all that jazz.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I think there is probably a lot of people out there that don't really know my whole story because I don't really talk about it on the interviews that much. It's usually the other way around. So my name is Cameron Makarchuk. I basically help people transform their bodies. I've been kind of doing this for about 7 years or so, working with clients. I started off. I mean, I grew up very active. I don't have the story of being an overweight kid when I was younger, and then all of a sudden seeing the light and losing weight, and then wanting to help people. I've been active pretty much my whole life, and never really had to battle with weight issues, which is kind of to my detriment. I think if I had a story like that, I think I'd be doing better. But yeah, I was always very active and very into sports and everything. And so I went to university. I started studying kinesiology and wanted to really dive into the whole physical fitness aspect and help people be stronger and work with athletes and and all that real exciting stuff that that I thought was really cool, and work with pro athletes and celebrities and everything like that. I thought that'd be really cool when I was younger. Little did I know I wouldn't be working with anyone like that now, and I'd really be finding myself working with a lot of really overweight people that need help changing their bodies and transform their lives, and to be able to do things that that they never thought they could do earlier on or before. And that's really what I found my passion for over the last couple of years, is working with that demographic of people, because I think it's as big of a problem as it is, and as many people say they're out there helping these overweight people and obese people, nobody really zeroes in on it and really targets that demographic of people and answers a lot of the questions that specific demographic has, compared to people that need, maybe only have 5 or 10 or even 15 or 20 pounds to lose. There's really a lot of difference between those two demographics, like psychological issues and support issues and self-confidence and self-esteem issues and things like that. So it's good to kind of, you have to kind of tackle it from all those angles as well. So, I mean, I started off as any trainer, working in a big box gym, working with everyone under the sun, from athletes to collegiate athletes to executives to busy people to moms to stay-at-home moms to everything in between, and doing everything from one-on-one training to 30 to 40 person boot camps, big corporate wellness programs with companies of 2,500 plus employees, and helping them implement their fitness programs for their employees and work with them and set up their personal training programs at the companies. But what I found was like I said, I just really enjoyed working with those very overweight people that have struggled with their weight maybe their entire lives, that have a hard time, going up a couple flights of stairs up to their apartment, and that's who I really wanted to work with, and so that's what I did. I opened my studio, Boom Body Shaping Studio, here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, about 3.5 years ago, and have been working with people like that ever since, and it's kind of a really cool atmosphere there, because everyone is on that same path and has those same struggles that I just mentioned. The self-confidence, the self-esteem, the not really feeling comfortable in the typical gym setting, and so they come into a studio like mine, and it's all people just like themselves that have had the same struggles as them, and they get the coaching they need and the support they need to to really make a significant difference in their life. So that's kind of my story and my background.
Cool. And yeah, I mean, it's a different mindset for sure with your guys. Like it's sort of, I always think transformation is inside out instead of outside in. So that's especially sort of true with your market. Now, most people know you as the body re-engineer guy, all about stuff you chatted about, fat loss, mindset, nutrition, and all that. And I want to talk about those projects in a bit. But first, some other stuff. I met you, earlier this year in San Diego, the whale's vagina, and look, I discovered there that you're a cat person, which I find pretty interesting, because I am through and through, I'm a dog person. So can you just settle this argument once and for all? Which is better? Which is better, cats or dogs? Is that what you're asking me? Yeah. The universal battle which rages within us all, which is, what's the answer?
Oh man, I don't know. I grew up, when I was a kid, I was actually a dog person when I was a kid growing up, and I always had dogs, and we always had boxers growing up, and they were awesome dogs, and I love dogs. I never thought in a million years that I would ever be a cat person.
Because boxers, they eat cats for a snack, don't they?
Yeah, they probably, they would. I would never take my cats back to my parents' place, because they probably would just eat them. But yeah, I never thought in a million years that I would be a cat person, and until my girlfriend moved in with me, and she just had her heart set on getting this cat, and so you know what it's like trying to tell your girlfriend no to something, and so needless to say, we came home with this cat, and his name's Romeo, and he's actually sitting at my feet right now underneath me, and and I mean, now we have two. Because again, the girlfriend wanted to have another cat, so what are you gonna do? She comes home with a second cat, and now we have two. So Romeo and Harlow. So I don't really know which is better. I mean, cats are good because they kind of take care of themselves, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. But dogs are good too because I mean it's just unconditional love. So I don't know. I mean, I'm a fan of both.
You're torn. I mean, I get that. I mean, when my girlfriend, or my now wife, when she was my girlfriend, we had a fight one day, just like a couples fight, and she went shopping. I thought she was doing some retail therapy, and she came back with a $1,500 puppy. So I get that.
What kind
I
of
get
dog
it.
do you have? What is that?
That was look, it sort of goes against this meathead manly image, but it's a cavoodle, and it's an awesome little, so it's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel crossed with a poodle, but
Nice,
it's a really awesome dog, yeah.
nice, nice. That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, it's a really good house dog. Like, we live in a unit, so it's for that it's perfect. I love big dogs, but for us
Yeah,
in a unit or apartment, it's fantastic. All right, so
yeah.
it's safe to say when I see you in Vegas or at our next meeting, then I'll have to once and for all convince you that dogs are number one. Now, I also noticed you're into some crazy sports like this. I saw this photo of you with this, like, on this thing which looks like an ice rink, which doesn't exist in Australia, and you're doing this thing with like brooms and things like this. What is that? What is this? What the hell are you doing?
Curling. Are you talking about curling?
Right.
I hope you're talking about curling. I think that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, curling, man. You got to get into it down there in Australia. It's the shit. It's awesome.
So could we do it on like grass, or like does it have to be on ice?
No, it's got to be on ice. Yeah, you gotta have
Okay.
ice. So I guess that might be hard down there in Australia to find some ice like
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah, I think it might be. I'll just
yeah,
stick to curling in the mirror with some dumbbells instead, you know?
yeah, that's a good way to do it too. Actually, yeah, probably get a little more
Yeah.
physical benefits out of that. Curling's not a very strenuous sport.
Is that a Winter Olympic sport?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Canada's usually one of the top teams for curling in the Olympics.
Okay. Is that,
Yeah, it's
I guess,
one of our few sports that we can actually win.
I was going to say, I guess that and hockey, they're national sports, I guess.
Yeah, you put us on ice, man. We can compete with the best of them. So
That's it. But I do know that rugby union's a growing sport there. Like every World Cup, Canada does that. We're a big rugby union country here, and rugby seems to be growing, and you guys seem to be getting a bit more competitive with that, which
yeah,
is cool.
yeah, it is growing, and it like when I was in high school about 10 years ago, it wasn't very popular up here, but I remember we did have a rugby team in high school, and I actually played a couple rugby games on that team in high school. Got the shit kicked out of me in the game, so that was awesome.
Back
But
to
yeah, it is
college.
growing in popularity now. There's some, I think I think there's a league or something in Canada now. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't really follow it that much.
Sure. Very, very cool. All right. So, you know, let's just get one thing sure. Are you one of those sort of fitness pros who, wear the gold chains, singlets, bum bags, chew some chewing gum? Is that how you sort of approach it with your clients, or you're a little bit different than that?
The singlets, yeah, yeah. No, I don't think I've ever worn anything like that around my
Oh,
clients.
damn.
No, I think I might be a little bit different than that, which might disappoint a few people.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking forward to exchanging bum bags, but hey, we
Yeah.
can
Well,
we
what are you
can
gonna do, right?
reassess that. So one of the things that really bugs me in the fitness industry, which is not just here but worldwide, is you know this real dogmatic approach that many fit pros try to make, whether that's a nutrition approach, as in you must eat X, whether it's paleo or fasting or 6 meals, or you must train a certain way. What are your thoughts on that? You seem to be a little bit different on that kind of stuff as well, but where do you sit with that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. Like, nutrition is nutrition is such a funny thing, especially in the fitness industry, and it's just there's so many different nutritional camps out there. Like you said, you got your paleo, you got fasting, you have the kind of the bodybuilding world that likes to eat a lot of meals throughout the day, and so I mean, my whole view on nutrition is to keep things as simple as possible, because I work with, I mean, and it comes from who I work with, like the types of people that I work with. It's a lot of people that come to me, their nutrition is out of control, and it's not even their fault a lot of times, because a lot of times they just kind of they buy into a lot of the claims they see on TV, or they buy into a lot of the claims they read on these, millions of health websites out there, or in the magazines, or read what these celebrities are doing or whatever, and they get all wrapped up in these different fad diets, and they start eating only grapefruits for one meal a day, and then they have soup for every meal, and like all these crazy things that you just can't maintain for any amount of time. And so so I like to keep things very, very simple with my clientele. Get them eating whole foods first, focus on the quality of the foods they're eating, not overrun them with numbers, and I try not to get too detailed into the grams of each macronutrient or whatever until a little bit later on. But the first thing, we always just try to focus on whole foods. So I guess you could say I'm a little bit more on the paleo side of things, but I don't really like to say that because some of the paleo people are just are nutty. But I am kind of along those lines, like just focusing on lean meats, lots of animal meats, eggs, lots of vegetables, nuts and seeds. Getting carbohydrates from like the sweet potatoes, yams, beets, things like that. Maybe some white rice every once in a while for post-workout meals. But just keeping it really, really basic like that. And then once people have that wrapped up, a lot of times once you get that wrapped up, you're going to see some pretty significant changes in your body, especially for the clientele that I work with that are quite heavy. So even if we just make some of the changes like that, like getting protein with every meal, getting vegetables with every meal, eating healthy fats with most meals, and being able to differentiate between healthy fats and bad fats is important for people as well. Because I think, like, as much as like I'm in, like me and you, like we're in this world, right, all the time, and so I sometimes forget that there's a lot of people out there that are still hung up on eating low fat and not getting any fat in their diet, and eating lots of grains, and eating 15 servings of pasta and bread every single day, but eating zero fat. But it's important to realize that there's millions of people out there that still think that, and they still buy into the low fat craze. So helping them understand that fat isn't a bad thing, and it's the type of fat that you want to be eating that makes the difference. Staying away from obviously the bad trans fats, obviously, and fried food and things like that, and focusing more on getting fats from grass-fed beef, wild-caught fish, eggs, taking maybe some fish oil supplement in the morning, things like that to get your good fats up, and focusing on those types of things, and even just those small changes can a lot of times make a big difference in the way people eat. So I don't know. Sure. That's kind of a long-winded answer, I guess, to your question.
No, but it's a really good one, and I hate that. I kind of wish dietary fat was called something else. Like, you imagine if fat was actually called thin, and people are like, oh, I'm going on this high thin diet. I could be really cool. But I think because of the dietary fat is the same as body fat, we think, well, I'm not going to eat fat because it leads to fat. We know it doesn't, but in terms of anti-inflammatory properties and hunger benefits and brain, so much of the brain is made up of omegas. So, I think that's fantastic. And obviously, I find when clients do that, similar clients to you, their inflammation goes down, their cravings are drastically altered. How they feel is, they get their libido back, they get their energy back, they wake up. It's amazing to see that. And fats have so many benefits. And I love fats. Like, we've got so many avocados in Australia. It's a really huge area for that. And, coconut oil and the good oils and the nuts and seeds. I can just eat almond butter all day. Like, it's my weakness. So, I love my good fats, and you're definitely the same. And what about, your position on cheat meals with the guys? Do you incorporate like a small treat into each day, or are you more of the fan of, tell your clients to have their cake and eat it too on the weekends? Where do you sort of sit with that?
Me personally, I'm a big fan of cheat days because I like having that day. But
they're awesome.
They're great. You eat whatever. But I find with with the types of people that I work with, and my whole nutrition style, it's really tailored to the people that I'm seeing. And so when I talk, I usually talk about nutrition when it relates to people that are quite overweight, right? So my recommendations for people that would be, athletes or bodybuilders, something like that, it'd probably be different than what I'm talking about here. But with my clientele, I like to give them 10%. And this goes back to John Berardi's precision nutrition and what they do with all their clients is the 90-10, right? 90% of the time you eat 100% dialed in, right? Keep it strict, keep, protein every meal, vegetables every meal, healthy fats, most meals, blah, 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 blah. But then 10% of the time, you can allow yourself that little splurge, that variance. And, so if you want to have, if you're really craving a piece of chocolate cake or something, then go for it. If you're really craving a piece of pizza, then go for it. If you have an event coming up, like a birthday party or an anniversary or Christmas or Thanksgiving, then you can plan for that and schedule it into your week so that you know that it's coming and you can know that that's going to be your 10% day. And so I feel like that's worked pretty well with our clientele, because I think a lot of times if I tell people to have, eat 100% dialed in for the whole week, and then on Saturday, go nuts. But just know that on Sunday, you have to get back on track. And I think that day, having it on Saturday like that, for the people that I work with that are quite overweight and have maybe struggled with food, as far as food addictions, for some people, it's hard for them to have that day and then switch it off the very next day. Sure. I find it, because I used to say that to people, and I used to have people do that, but I found a lot of times it turns into a slippery slope. And so they'll have that cheat day on Saturday, but on Sunday, maybe they don't cheat as much, but they still cheat, and then Monday they're still cheating a little bit, and then and then it's just a slippery slope, and then their mind's all thrown off, and their inflammation's back, and everything's kind of back at square one. So I found the 10% is a nice number, a nice percentage, because then you can still have your birthday, you can still have your anniversary, you can still have Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, but you plan for it, and you know it's coming, and it's kind of a reward sort of thing too. So, sure. So yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think people, they often get guilty by if they do stuff up, but if you have one bit of chocolate or one bit of cake over a week, it really makes no difference. It's what you obviously do after that, of course. Mm-hmm. But I think you hit the nail on the head where people have this food addiction and this negative association to bad food, so that can obviously throw them a little bit. Now, I know you've written on your site about fasting before, and you're a fan, aren't you? You often push your first meal back a little bit, and I'm someone who was taught and came from the crowd that thought you must eat every 2.77765 hours, before your muscles start to, you pee out your muscles if you don't eat every 3 hours. You go catabolic, but
shrivel up and die.
That's it. You seriously will, and you have to get up at midnight to have a protein shake, right? So. But what would you? I'm a huge fan of fasting. My first meal is typically between 12 and 2 p.m. and I wrap up my sort of 7 to 8 hour eating window after that. But what would you say to someone just starting out who thinks they do need to eat every few hours, but might find it difficult to adhere to that?
Yeah. So again, this goes back to the whole fitting the nutrition style for each individual person. Because I was skeptical with fasting when I first started reading about it like 5 years ago, back when it was only like Brad Pilon and Martin Burkhan talking about fasting, like way back then. and I started reading about it then. I was skeptical, and I was like, I don't know, like this seems pretty ass backwards as to what we should be doing. And then I just started doing it. I just experimented with myself on it, did a 24-hour fast, once a week for a little while, like Brad's Eat Stop Eat stuff. And loved it. I mean, the 24-hour fast was awesome. I felt great. Towards the end of the fast, I was pretty hungry, but I have a protein shake before I went to bed, and I was fine. And then as more and more people started coming out and talking about it, I started seeing more of the different protocols. So the 24-hour fast, the 16-8 protocol, the 36-hour fast. Some people are talking about still. And so I tried them all. I did them all. I experimented with them all on myself, and I found that the one that really fit my lifestyle and my personality and my how I felt during the day was the 16-8 protocol, which is now I think that's probably one of the most popular ones now. I mean, I see a lot of people writing about that one and implementing it into their nutrition programs. So it really works for me. I'm pretty much the same as you. I push my first meal back to about between 11 and 1 usually. And and a lot of times that'll be right after some sort of strength training session. So I'll usually work out around 10:30 or 11, whether it's a strength training or a metabolic workout, and then I'll have a post-workout shake, like some protein and a little bit of creatine, and then I'll go home and I'll have lunch, and I'll have a lunch of whatever, some white rice and some vegetables and meat and things like that, and
Sure.
and I feel great. And then I have that and maybe a little snack in the day, and then a big dinner at night, and then I go to bed feeling great.
You don't please don't tell me you eat carbs at night. That must lead to fat gain, right?
Well, I kind of go back and forth. It depends on the day. I do try to have some pretty heavy starchy carbs before I go to bed, and which I know is another thing that kind of flies in the face of conventional wisdom. But again, that's another thing. I mean, I used to tell people all the time, don't eat carbs, don't eat carbs at night, blah 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 blah, just like everyone did.
Sure.
But I mean, as you grow and evolve, you learn new things and experiment with different things, and yeah, like I actually find now having some heavier, starchier carbs like some rice or some sweet potato or something like that at night, I sleep a lot better, and it really helps to knock me out at night. So it's kind of a good situation.
Yeah, obviously the hormonal response to that is huge, and I'm the same. Like, I've been doing this for sort of 11, 12 years now, but the first 9 years I was telling people big breakfast, small dinner, carbs in the morning, no carbs at night, eat every three hours, 5 to 7 meals a day, breakfast like a king, but have dinner like a pauper kind of thing. So I was probably the same as you were at one stage. I was like, well, shit, like, do I go back and tell all my clients I was wrong? Well, yeah, you do. If it's the best thing for the clients, you do it. And I've still got some clients to this day who swear by 6 meals a day. If that works for them, you can still get ripped, feel great, be healthy doing that. But I think it's important to know there is a more. If you want to only eat 2 to 3 times a day, it really makes no difference. Just find what works for you.
Yeah, and it is, like, it's worth saying too. Like, there's it's. I mean, I'll still tell some of my clients, depending on the person, wake up, have a good breakfast, have a good whack of protein in the morning, and get your day started like that. If you feel good doing that,
Sure.
have 3 meals throughout the day. Like, if you feel good doing that and you're getting the results that you want doing that, and that works for your lifestyle, then great. I mean, I know some of my clients, they'll be ravenous maniacs if they don't have breakfast until 11 or 12 like I do, and so it just works for them. And I mean, and that's fine. I think if it works for them, then that's great, as long as they're getting the results that they want. If the results stall out and maybe they're plateauing or maybe they're not getting results, then maybe it's time to look at a different strategy and move in a different direction. But you're right. Like, there's been, I mean, people for years lost weight and lived healthy by eating 3 meals a day or whatever. It's just finding what's going to work for the person, and then matching food quality and macronutrient profiling and all that type of stuff for the person, and finding a good balance for that person so they get the results they want and live the best kind of lifestyle.
Sure, absolutely. Now, let's talk about supplements for a second. So many guys and girls, believe they need 27 supplements, a whole supplement pantry in their home with pre-workouts, intra-workouts, post-workouts, pre-bed supplements. But going back to sort of, the main clients you work with, what are your top 2 or 3 supps or vitamins that you recommend to those guys, and why?
Yeah, I mean, the supplement industry is a funny thing, just like nutrition, I guess. I mean, the thing with supplements that, I mean, we know this obviously because we're in the world, but a lot of my clients don't realize that supplements aren't they're not regulated by anything. So, I mean, there can be literally, they can put anything they want on the bottle, and it doesn't necessarily have to be what's in the pills or in the powder or in whatever. There's no quality control within a lot of the supplement industries, unless those supplement companies go out and actually pay for third party verification or third party testing or things like that. And the sad unfortunate truth is that not a lot of companies will do that, and there's only a handful that actually do. So you have to really trust the company that you're getting your supplements from, and trust the person that's recommending them to you. So, I mean, finding a good personal trainer or fitness coach that stays up to date on the research and the companies and what they're doing and everything, and finding something like that can help you is crucial, because it's a dirty industry. And
Yeah.
So, and the truth is, you don't need half of what people are trying to sell you, anyways. Like you walk into the uh, local supplement store and talk to some random guy there. I mean, they don't know what you need. They don't know who you are, or where you're coming from, or what training you're doing, or what your body is like, or what you need. You know, they don't know any of that stuff. They just recommend whatever they're going to get paid the bonuses on,
For
and
sure.
and it's sad, but it's true. So, anyways, let's go back to your question. The couple that I do recommend to people would be, I mean, the number one is a good high quality omega-3, so a good high quality fish oil supplement to get some good fatty acids in your body. Vitamin D is becoming a much more mainstream one that I'm recommending to people now as well. Vitamin D is now, I just read a research article that they're showing vitamin D, increased vitamin D intake actually reduces muscle soreness after workouts. So that's
It's huge, even here in Australia, and I'm in, on the Gold Coast, which is it's where surfers paradise is. So as the name suggests, it's like we live on the beach here. Even
yeah.
people here in my home state are deficient in vitamin D.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And I mean,
Yeah,
so like just going back to that, if people in your state in Australia are deficient in vitamin D, I mean, think about the people where I live, like in Manitoba, like we
exactly.
get,
There's not much sun doing curling, is there?
oh, no, it's quite sad
Yeah,
actually. So yeah, like if and like when people hear that, it's crazy because everyone thinks like even in Manitoba here, everyone's like, oh, I'm outside all the time, I'm in the sun, it's the summertime, whatever. But the fact is, they're probably still very deficient, and they're not getting as much vitamin D as they probably need. And it just goes back to research evolving and more information coming, more good information coming out finally on the benefits of increasing your vitamin D levels. So
for
that's
sure.
another one that I recommend a lot to people. Vitamin D. Finding a good protein powder is also, I think, is pretty important for people as well. Just because it's hard for people to get enough protein. And I mean, a lot of things go back and forth on how much you need, but if you're eating a good whack of protein throughout the days, you're probably not going to be eating a lot of bad shitty food, because you're going to feel satisfied, you're going to feel full, you throw in a lot of good fats in there as well, and you're going to feel very satisfied throughout the day, and you're not going to have those cravings that come when you're eating a higher, refined carbohydrate type of diet. So I think having a good high quality protein powder is important. But then it goes back to being able to find a high quality protein powder.
That's right. Yeah. So the top, I would have said the same three. There you go. So a good quality omega, vitamin D, and of course a quality protein powder.
hmm Yeah, I think those are the critical three
Yeah.
supplements. And then I mean, if people are deficient in other things, then we find products that are going to match that. If
Of
they
course.
need if they're I don't know if they need a meal replacement, then we find a good quality meal replacement that's easy for them to do. Or if they need some extra fiber, then we find something like that. Or probiotics is another one that's kind of getting up there on my recommendation list. Probiotics are important
Yeah.
for digestive issues and things like that. And so yeah, then it's just filling the holes. I mean, my whole view on supplements is that they should be there to supplement what you're getting. So you eat according to what I said, lots of vegetables, some fruit, lots of lean meats, and get what you can from your food, and
Yeah.
then you just fill the holes with whatever you need with some high quality
Absolutely.
supplements.
And I'm the same. I guess the tier one supplements are the same as you. Maybe greens in there as well, green strength, so,
Yep.
vital greens, athletic greens, and same
Yeah.
as you. Obviously, it's not, again, it's not a dogmatic approach. So if someone's
Yeah.
deficient in zinc or magnesium, whatever it is, we can address that. Now, one of the articles I really really like on your site, it talked about a social support system.
Mhm.
Now, what's this all about? Is this like meeting your buddies on a Saturday night for a scotch? Is that what you mean by like a social support system?
No, that's what curling is actually. That's what
Oh,
curling is all
okay.
about. Yeah. That's why you got to get into curling. It's a big drinking sport.
Okay, I'm into it. I'm there.
Yeah, no, the social support thing I think is huge for people, especially the clientele that I work with, and it's huge for anyone. I mean, even myself. I mean, I don't battle with weight issues or anything, but if I can surround myself with people that are more like-minded people like me who have the same kind of drive and desire to improve my fitness or to improve my business or whatever, then then it makes it a lot easier for me to succeed. And so the same thing goes for people that have a lot of weight to lose, or that are trying to improve their health or their fitness overall. Having a group of people, a group of like-minded people around you to help kind of push you and support you and encourage you along the way, I think is crucial for success. And the people that have that are going to be much more likely to succeed than the people that don't. And so, I mean, it just comes down to finding that, and you can find it anywhere. You can go to, I mean, for the easiest way would be for people in Winnipeg here with me, they come and they hire me as their coach, or my team as their coaches, and they're in our community. Like, we have a whole community of people that we've built up, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, that are all like-minded people. They all struggle, have the same issues, have the same roadblocks, have struggled with their weight, maybe their whole lives, or at least the last few years, and so they're all there for each other to help push them and encourage them and support them along the way, and to show that they're not alone, right? Because a lot of times going to the gym and working out, if you go to a typical gym, there's a lot of people around, but it's kind of an isolating experience, and you can feel very alone if you're not in that particular gym's community of people. If you're not if you're not in the bodybuilding scene, you're not in the athletic scene at the gym or whatever. If you're just an average Joe trying to lose 35 pounds and you go to the gym, it can be a very lonely, isolating experience. And so finding a community of people that are like you, that have that same mindset as you, is just a way to feel like you're a part of something, to know that you're not alone, and to know that there's people out there that are going to help you. And if you don't have somewhere like my place or your gym in Australia to go to, then it's, you can find a lot of communities, a lot of things online now. Like, there's a lot of online communities. I mean, following blogs, following like my blog at bodyshapingblueprint.com, or reengineeryou.com, or your stuff at ptansleyfitness.com. I mean, anything like that, and getting involved in communities like that online can do just as well for you as getting involved in communities locally. So it just comes down to your preference, I guess, but it is very important.
Yeah, very, very cool. I love that, man. And you said online, whether it's a Facebook group or a paid group or a blog, or even an email thing where you're accountable to a few people, or like some kind of email support system. Yeah, there's so many online tools available. I always think nothing beats person to person, whether it's coming to see you or someone you recommend. It's like the equivalent of listening to your favorite band on a CD. An MP3 versus seeing a live rock concert. It's a little bit different, but still very, 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 very powerful things. Now, last question is, guys, especially our age, like I'm talking under 30 or under 35, we suck at cooking. Like, we just don't even know the basic skills on like how to cook an egg. Yeah. So where would you recommend? And some girls as well, but it seems to be that most people I've come across the last decade or so is young guys, maybe just moved out of home, struggling with their body fat, and just want to look better and feel better, and obviously attract a partner on a Saturday night or whatever. But they just want to look and feel better, but they have no idea where to cook. Where would you send guys or people, guys and girls who where would you send them to start?
Oh, to learn how to do more cooking. I mean, yeah, like I'm kind of the same way. I hate cooking. I'm not a big cooking guy myself, and that's that's one area that I think the whole paleo sphere has really kind of done good work in their simple, very, very simple recipes. Because I mean, what I do now is, and I'll tell my clients this too, like go to Google if you think you want to. Like, the other day I wanted to make butter chicken. I had a craving for butter chicken, but I mean, I didn't want to make it with all the cream and everything like that. So I went to Google and just typed in paleo butter chicken, and like it pops up thousands of recipes. And I mean, some are better than others. They all have different ingredients or whatever. But with anything in that whole paleo world, it's always very, very simple. And it sometimes surprises me how simple it can be. And you throw a few spices, you throw some tomato sauce, you throw some chicken, things like that, and you have butter chicken all of a sudden. And you throw some coconut milk and things like that in there, and you're good to go. So I mean, that's really my secret to cooking. Getting used to using a slow cooker has been a big thing for me also. Like I use a slow cooker all the time now.
They are the bomb.
Yeah, oh, they're awesome. Like I literally put it on when I go to work and I come home and I have a amazing meal. And it always surprises me how awesome it tastes when it comes out because it's usually only like maybe a chicken breast and some coconut milk and some spices or
So
something.
simple. I just love the smell. Like you walk into your home and this thing's been like cooking for 5-6 hours. And it's just like
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, I love it. It's great. So I would recommend to anyone, go get a slow cooker. And I don't even know how much they are. I don't think they're that expensive, maybe $100 or something,
Yeah.
maybe. But yeah, like go invest in one and yeah, lights out. It's awesome. But those would be my two. Yeah, those would be my two kind of secret weapons for cooking, I guess, when it comes to things like that.
Yeah. Very, very cool. So the slow cooker is the way to go.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, it's been good to learn more about you and your programs. And for those that are maybe seeing this the first time, where can they go to if they live locally or to get your online help? Where can they check you out more?
Yeah, so basically, like I said before, I have my my offline, my actual studio location here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. So that's at boombodyshapingstudio.com. So if the people are watching this in Winnipeg, then you can go there and check that out. But for the hundreds or thousands of other people that are watching this, maybe from not in Winnipeg,
Millions,
then
possibly even millions.
Millions, maybe, yeah, for sure, millions. Yeah. Then I have what I call the Extreme Fat Loss Blueprint. And so what I did with that is because I wanted to really extend my reach to not only just people in Winnipeg, but I wanted to help the millions of people that struggle with their weight, all around the world and face those same obstacles and issues that my clients in Winnipeg face. I took everything that I do with my clients, and like I literally mean everything that I do with my clients, and I did video coaching modules, and I designed a whole 8-phase training program and a whole nutrition program and everything, and I put it all into a nice little online package, and for an incredibly affordable price. And so that you can see at extremefatlossblueprint.com. And it just kind of takes you all the way from phase 1 being a straight beginner, not really being comfortable in the gym and not really knowing what to do with yourself in there maybe, and it progresses you all the way through these 8 phases. So every phase builds on what you did in the last one. So yeah, lots of workouts in there that you can use to get stronger, get healthier, lose a lot of fat. And then the nutrition program, like you get the actual nutrition program that I use with my clients, the exact plan that I used with one of my clients, Joanne, to lose over 103 pounds plus now. She's lost more now. And
Wow.
or with her dad, who lost, I think he's close to 70 pounds lost now, using the same strategies that they used to lose all that weight, you now will have access to. So for a very affordable price. So it's all in there. And then in the video coaching modules, I go over some different mindset strategies and different training things and nutrition strategies and things like that. So it's a very, very comprehensive program, and all the workouts have video demonstrations and everything too. So you can look at them on your smartphone or your tablet or your computer or anything. So you're never left wondering kind of what to do next or how to do a certain exercise. It's all laid out there for you with video demonstrations. So I'm really proud of it.
I love how it leaves nothing unturned. It's just a step-by-step system, and it's it's obviously proven with the hundreds of thousands of clients you've worked with.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's just it. It is completely step by step. Like you literally start phase 1 and phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, all the way through, and it doesn't get much simpler than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very cool. Good stuff. Well, it's great to be here and to switch the roles for today. And so thanks so much for having me on your show.
Yeah, no problem, Pete. Thanks a lot for doing this. I really appreciate it. It's been great, and it's been really fun actually to kind of answer the questions and be on the receiving end of everything and talk about my cats, who's still sleeping beneath me here. And yeah, it's been great talking to you, man. I really appreciate you doing this. This is great. So where can people find out more about you too? What are you working on? What are you doing?
Sure. Look, the easiest way, just check out PeteTansleyFitness.com. that's my blog and my homepage, and you can find out what I do there and the stuff that I do there, or just find me on Facebook. If you want to creep me out, just add my page on Facebook and give it a like, and you can follow me from there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll post some links down here below the video or like on the video somewhere, and for people to go check out you too, because I know we kind of have similar beliefs and similar strategies and things like that. So it's nice to talk to someone like that and someone on the other end of the world that's doing similar things and working hard over there. So
that's it. Thanks a lot.
All right, sounds good, man. All right, so again, if you guys like this video, as always, then be sure to like it, tweet it, +1 it, share it, get it out there to the world. I would really appreciate that, and get the word out there. So that's it for this episode of Reengineer You. Again, Cameron Makarchuk here with Pete Tansley, and I will see you guys in the next episode.